If you're looking for a way to make your food last longer, these vacuum sealers are so handy. They work on bags like this. So these are like the vacuum bags that you would use for storing things like blankets or clothes when you travel. They have this really thick seal, and then you pull all the air out through the bag here using the vacuum. And then this works on the regular size mason jar lids, as well as the wide mouth. So I already have these two sealed completely. So this is oatmeal. All the air has been taken out of it. So this is gonna last way longer than if I was to just leave it in an open oatmeal container, because that once the air gets in, it's gonna start to lose its freshness. And so this has no air in that. So you could separate out into smaller containers so you can buy in bulk and save money. And I also think it just looks really pretty having these in the pantry. So it works on all different size jars and the wide mouth and the small lids. So whatever you have, it comes with 10 of each size lid, and then you can buy these separate. So these are different than a regular canning lid because they have these air release valves. And so when you put the vacuum on top of it, you're gonna go right around it looks like a sticker. You're gonna go right around that. And when you do that, it's gonna lift up just a little bit to pull out the air. And once all the air has been pulled out, it's gonna stop, and this is gonna reseal on top of here. So no air will get back into the container. So I have some fruit in here. I like to do this with grapes and strawberries, especially blueberries, blackberries, things like that go bad so fast in the fridge. They'll stay fresh a lot longer if they're vacuum sealed like this. So the way that it works, I showed you on the lid, but you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a nice tight connection with this wax ring and the top of the lid. So if it's off at all, it's not going to seal. So you want it to be right centered and even around the whole lid. Then you're gonna line this part up around the outside of that valve. So I'll hold it up so you could see it a little bit better, but it's easier to do it on the table. So you wanna be right on the outside of the whole thing. I like to press down just a little bit to get the seal started. When you're ready to go, you're gonna push the power button. It's gonna count automatically, and it's a different time for everything that you're doing depending on how much air there is. So it's gonna run until it's not sucking up any more air. You can tell it's working if when you pick up the sealer, it comes with it. So it took 18 seconds for this. So you want to really give it a good check, because if you don't get a good seal on the first try, you want to redo it. Otherwise, it's not going to be effective. And sometimes it'll feel like it's a nice seal, but you shouldn't be able to open it easily with your fingers. So it comes with a bottle opener, a can opener. So you're just gonna take this small area and you're gonna go right to the edge. So you wanna find a spot that has a lip on it. So we have that little tiny lip, and you're just gonna use this and pop that open. I try really hard not to bend this because I like to reuse the lid. So if I bend it too much, it won't get a good seal the next time. So we're just popping it just enough to let the air in. And now it's good to go. So I could pull some of these grapes out and then reseal it again right after that. So now we're gonna go ahead and use the zip bag. So you can buy these in all kinds of different sizes. It just comes with 2 of this size to kind of sample them out. But I really like this better than using the vacuum seal bags because it's reusable. And so I'm not ripping the bag open. I just break the seal basically. It's like a Ziploc. And so you put in whatever you want. close it up. And there's a little clamp that you can use as well. I just feel like I can just do it just fine. And you can pre-get the air out if you want to, or you don't have to, it's up to you. And then depending on how you're gonna store this, like if you want them to sit flat on top of each other, then try to get the contents as flat as you can. Otherwise, if you don't care, you could put them like that. It's totally up to you. So with this, it's a little bit different than the jars. You still want to make sure that you have a good connection between this white rim and this black one. So you want to get those really connected. If I put it onto the counter, it's a lot easier, but I'm just gonna, so you can see it, I'm gonna start it up here. So you hear an initial, like a hiss kind of, that lets you know it's starting to take the air out. And you could see it went really quickly and got that air out. So this is kind of an awkward bag to store because it's not in, like, it's not really flat or anything, but that went super fast. That was only 18 seconds. And it automatically turned off because it knew that there was no more. So I wouldn't like this style to save because it's kind of hard to store. I like my things to fit and sit flat on top of each other. So I'm just going to show you, you can easily open that up, start over, but if somebody wanted to grab some of these, take some out, eat what you want, and then you're good to reseal it back. So I'm just going to do this one more time because I prefer it to be flatter so that I can store it. If you don't have anything behind the white part, it's easier, but that's not always realistic depending on what it is that you're putting in here. So I'm just going to do it on the counter this time. And you're listening for that like hissing sound. See, I didn't get it yet. So I need, there we go. So if you don't have a good connection, it's not going to be taking any of that air. So you can pretty much tell immediately because it's so fast on how it removes that air. And even though I wasn't connected at the beginning, since it's not on a timer, it's not like it's going to go for less time. It's going to go until there's no air left. So I like the bags to be more like this. So that way I can sit a whole bunch of bags on top of each other. So if you want a way that you can preserve some foods and they don't go bad, check out this jar sealer. It works with the regular mason jars, the wide mouth, and then also with these bags.